Lesson 4 involves working with the DOM, which is the Document Object Model. So you're going to want to make sure you read the chapter in the book and go through the lecture demo. And so first thing we kind of do is show you the browser object model and kind of how the document object model fits into that bigger picture. And then we specifically talk about the document object model. And you've already been using commands from this, but this actually is going to give you a little bigger picture of how everything works. And I do have a log JavaScript file that basically is logging everything to the console in this page. And if you want to see it, you press F12, or if it's a laptop, FN and F12. And if I widen this up, you can see all of the log information here. Okay, that's just if you're curious. And let's see. So finding and manipulating HTML. A lot of this you are familiar with because you can find by ID, by tag, by class, CSS selectors, or object collections. We have used finding things by ID already, and there is a video that kind of covers how to use ID, tag, class name, and CSS selectors, and a separate one that shows you collections. So basically, I'm walking through the code in these videos, and watching the videos will help you understand the information. And then we get into DOM navigation. So navigating the DOM basically involves traversing from one level to another. So, if you're down at this paragraph, how do you go to the next one? How do you go up a level? That's what it's talking about. And these are the different methods that you can use to move around in this structure. So this, I use lots of examples. So I give you kind of a snippet of code here, and then you can see the full-blown example. I've got all sorts of additional examples, and there are videos that do go through and explain things to you as well. So make sure you read through all of this, that you understand what it's doing, because you're going to have to do this in the assignment. Then we get into changing HTML elements and their attributes. So how do we use DOM commands to change basically styles on your page? So this is how we would do that. Then how do you create attributes? How do you set attributes? So attributes, as you know, are inside your tags. So if the attribute's not there, how do you create it? If the attribute is there, how do you change it? Okay, that's what it's referring to. How do you check to see if the attribute is there? Get attribute. Okay, so this is basically all about checking the attributes and tags, seeing what's there, creating new ones, or changing values. This last little section is actually pretty important. And this is something you need to know for your certification exam. So what is the difference between text content, inner text, and inner HTML? Okay, so they are all kind of similar because they are updating a portion of your page, but they operate differently. Okay, and so I actually coded up each one. And if you click on this, you can visually see the difference. Okay, so this is what text content has. This is what inner text has. And this is what inner HTML has. Okay, and here's the code. So make sure you understand the differences. If there's anything that's confusing to you, let me know, because you do need to understand what each one of these does and how they're different. The programming assignment. So of course you start with adding folders, and then we get into working with DOM collections and animation. You are going to be downloading a Unicycle, which has code and a series of graphics. And it is going to be very similar to this push pin, at least what you need. So you'll have some buttons where you are going to have a unicycle that can go forward and backward and stop. Okay, so this is a push pin that goes right, left, or it stops. So you're going to be working with a unicycle, but it's the same concept. So here is the code used for the push pin, and you're going to have to enter similar code for the unicycle. I highly recommend watching the video because the video walks through the code and explains what it does. And you do need to understand what it does in order to apply that code to the unicycle. The next task gets into working with collections. And what you are being asked to do is almost identical to this example. Okay, these are my images. Okay, and basically the only thing that was in my web page is these 4 images. Everything else is generated. You are going to be doing the same thing. The only difference is you're using your own images in your own formatting instead of mine. And then for the last one, you are going to be creating, it can be 1 page or it can be multiple pages. Okay, but the requirements on this is that the user has to be able to add, delete, and update a portion of the page. They have to be able to do all 3. They also have to be able to change at least 2 styles. So you can incorporate that all onto 1 page, or you can have multiple pages. What students have done in the past is they've actually broken 1 page into 5 parts, 5 little sections where they do each one. It is totally up to you, how you want to put this together. Examples from the lecture demo that might help you, I included here. Okay, and you basically need to come up with your own page. So there is a video that explains this in more detail. Please watch the videos because they definitely will help you. And if you have questions or run into problems, let me know. Make sure you transfer the pages to the web so I can see them, and then I will be able to better help you. And if you have any questions, let me know. I can meet with you in Zoom, I can do a video, or I can email. Have a great week and have fun with the assignment.